Welcome to sunny Rathfarnham on one of the warmest days of the year. I'm happy to say that I've found some shade. I'm here to document the sights, the sounds, the culture, the history. My name is Ronan, and I got this idea during lockdown when I couldn't go very far. None of us could go very far. I started to really appreciate local history, whether that's Dublin or even beyond. So Rathfarnham is the first place I'm going to document, and I'm going to do many more videos like this. So it's my first attempt. Go easy on me. If you find this video informative or you just simply enjoy it, please hit the like button and subscribe. It would make a big difference to me. So without further delay, let's have a look and see what's in Rathfarnham. As you just come into the village here, actually you have one of these painted boxes which are all over the city. It's Misha Unikyo. I like that one. One of the first buildings you come to is Rathfarnham Athletics. What I really like about the athletics club, it's not the graffiti that some empty vessels have decided to scroll over the front. It's the Court of Petty Sessions, which was erected there in 1912. And it stood there until the 1970s, when it and other courts like it were replaced, I believe, by the district courts. There's a St. Vincent de Paul charity shop. You never know what you might find in there. Little golden nugget. Top's very popular. Obviously a while since I've been here. The famous Studio Cafe, can I call it the famous Studio Cafe? It has an outdoor part now. Here's another famous place, Rowan's, and a really quality deli. You'll get a good roll in there. Rathfarnham Post Office. It's just good to see a post office still there because we're losing too many in Ireland, and the front of it is pretty cool as well. No video including information about Rathfarnham Village would be worth its salt without footage of the Revels, famous watering hole. I suppose one of the main reasons why it was worth coming all the way to the end, I say all the way, it's about 100 yards, it's for this statue of Anne Devlin. This is Rathfarnham Daycare Centre, but once upon a time it was a nightclub called Club Sarah, or the Sarah Kern. Sarah Kern, of course, was the great love of Robert Emmet. Now I had to walk back quite a bit to be able to get that in frame. Rathfarnham Castle in all its glory. I'm at Loreto Road here, and that imposing structure behind me is known as Eli's Arch. It's been given a few different names over time. To locals, it's a structure that needs no explaining, no introduction. The iconic stairwell there in the middle. Rathfarnham Shopping Centre. For the longest time, this has been where locals have gone to get their groceries, a leg of lamb, a cut of beef, some school books back in the day when that was a runner. Do you remember the school supply centre? I don't think it's here anymore. Pennies is gone, which will disappoint a lot of people. But Rathfarnham Shopping Centre, as you can see from all the cars, is as popular as ever before, despite the rise of bigger shopping centres such as Dundrum, not that far away. Rathfarnham Shopping Centre also features in the movie Intermission. The scene, appropriate enough, features Colin Farrell. I think he has just actually committed an act of violence and he's running away from the shopping centre. but I don't want to give it all away, so you'll have to watch the movie yourself, you know. You want to come to Rathfarnham Shopping Centre, but your car has run out of power, not a traditional car, an electric car, no problem, you can charge it here in Rathfarnham. Isn't that impressive? Maybe it's not as impressive as I'm making it. Maybe these are everywhere now, but I feel as though they're not everywhere yet. I feel as though we've a long way to go in this journey to combat climate change and get more electric cars on the road and less gas guzzlers, and we all need to lower our footprint. And there's a big bus not lowering its footprint. Are you going for a pint? I fancy a pint. And sure, there's a fairly well known Rathfarnham establishment right in front of me. Let's have a look. Yellow House in Rathfarnham. This is the Church of the Annunciation in Rathfarnham, and as you can see, it is just across the road from the Yellow House. But I am led to believe that the original Yellow House was on the spot where this church now lies. After the original Yellow House was destroyed in 1803, this one was built. Not straight away, it took another 22 years for construction to start in 1825, and then it was opened in 1827, I believe, by Mary Murphy, and there it stands now. I'm on the Grange Road here, where so much of Rathfarnham's history is intertwined into, and I'm outside Loreto Abbey, the headquarters for the Loreto Order of Nuns in Ireland, which was founded by Sister Teresa Ball. This is a stunning place, a place of religion, a place of faith, and I think it's a listed building largely because of the architecture of Pujan in here. Perhaps one of the most famous people to come, stay here, study here, learn her way of life here was Mother Teresa of Calcutta. And it is now an Irish school, a Gael school, and very appropriately called Gael School na Pearse, after Pádraig Pearse. The abbey was closed for a long time, so it's good to see a school go in there, and a bilingual one at that, promoting the Irish language. Welcome to St Edels Park, famous for St Enda's, the building, the Pearse Museum, home of Pádraig Pearse's Irish school, Irish language school, and the contrast to the tranquility of this place and the roll and the traffic outside, it's quite something. You come in here and it's a place where you can just be lost with your thoughts. These arched passageways really are a feature of St Enda's. Some interesting graphics here from the Office of Public Works, so they're telling you to be keeping your dog on a lead. Is that telling us that there's going to be a sheer drop, or we're going to fall into the Atlantic Ocean? I'd say it is the sheer drop, so I'll have to watch out for that. I'm here by myself today, so I don't need to worry about that. And yes, exclamation marks are always good. Two can sometimes be better than one. Next to the water feature here in St Edmunds, we have a slab on the ground that states the Wayfarer, P.H. Pearse 1916. The Wayfarer, a famous poem he wrote not long before being sentenced to death by the British in 1916. He would have written this from his prison cell in Kilmainham jail, and the poem appears in all of these slabs throughout the garden, so I'll just pick out a few that really resonate. It starts with "the beauty of the world hath made me sad." That's because he knew he was leaving this beauty behind him, as he says in the next line. This beauty that will pass. And there stands the Pearse Museum, which is dedicated to the memory of Patrick and his brother William Pearse. Padraig Pearse, educator, poet, nationalist. He was known for his huge interest in the Irish language and Irish culture, which led him to found St Enda's, which he is facing, his bust is facing anyway, right here. So he was way ahead of his time in that the school St Enda's offered its pupils a bilingual education. He was an active member of the Gaelic League, the Irish Cultural Revival, and he became editor of the newspaper, the Irish language newspaper on Clive Sullis. I brought some glasses, as you can see, and they might be needed because I'm squinting a little bit too much. I have found the entrance. Let's go in. I've just come out of the Pearse Museum, and first impressions, well, straight away, immediate impressions. It's a special place. It's a spiritual place. It's a place of worship. When you go a couple of floors up, you arrive at a church, an oratory, as they would have called it, and unusual emotions. Kind of a feeling comes over you. So just to recap on the Pearse Museum, you walk in on the ground floor. It's all about Pearse's younger years, his childhood, his influences, his deep passion and appreciation for all things Irish, the language and the culture, and that shaped the person he was to become. One huge aspect of that person that he became was an educator, and then you move up a floor and you see all, you know, a lot of what there is to know about his school here, his boarding school. And you can see the accommodation that the pupils had. You can see that it was a loving environment. He tried to cultivate an atmosphere where the children felt like they were very much at home and just in a very learning environment. But everywhere you turn, there's, you know, it's a place of great national feeling. So that's Rathfarnham, or parts of it, standout parts of it. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button. If you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I plan to make more content like this. And in the meantime, I'll leave you and love you. Bye.